Hi guys, welcome to the reading today. I want to pull some cards and kind of just bring to a close this sort of shadow season. If you guys have been experiencing it too, it's been a really crazy couple of weeks of a lot of shadow work and Scorpio season, the eclipses, and yeah, it seems like it's still going, which is great because it gives us an opportunity to really look into the shadow, but it also seems like part of it has kind of come to a close. So I'd like to pull some cards and see how we can best integrate the shadow and the light. That's kind of the message that's coming through today is, in doing all this shadow work, we take a deep look at ourselves and we really get in there and learn a lot, and we find that the shadow isn't as scary as we think it is, and it's kind of avoidance of the shadow and not seeing it for what it is that makes it scary, makes it feel scary. So I'm going to pull some cards and see how we can best integrate the shadow and move forward and take all this information that we've gained over the last couple of weeks, week or two, and just move forward in a balanced, positive way. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards and we'll see what we have for today. Okay, my homies. Alright, so these are the cards that have come up, and I already feel a picture starting to be created, but I'm going to flip these ones now and see what we have here. Okay. Alright, so before we start, I just want to say a blessing that everyone watching this or touched by this in some way gets uplifted, cleared, space is cleared in the heart, to make room for more joy and happiness and fulfillment in life. Okay, so alright, so far this picture's being created, and I feel like some of us are gonna relate to this on different levels, but it kind of seems like basically take your pick of what's going on in your life, of just whichever trouble you're carrying. So some of us, I'm seeing with a Ten of Swords, are really feeling very stuck in situations, and we feel that if we want to escape the situation, that we have to either kind of deceive others or deceive ourselves, or hurt others or hurt ourselves in some way, or disappoint somebody. And the situation seems inescapable, and it is a road of commitment, I think, and awareness to kind of walk on the sand along the beach, kind of away from everything, and kind of go towards this space of peace and clarity. But I think the thing is, what it's saying is that this is happening no matter what. This is the journey that we are on. So it is going there. And so the question is, how do we get there? And so, like I said earlier, it's kind of whatever version of this yours is, or is yours. Whether it's kind of ways where we can't really escape the past, or yes, ways that we isolate ourselves or think that we're different than others or not worthy of others, or being closed in or guarding our hearts, trying to protect ourselves with material possessions, being kind of just scared and cold and closed off in some way. I see it especially in the head, you know, kind of the just survival going off all the time. You know, is this person out to get me? What do I need to watch out for? Things like that. So, what's coming in are helpers. Like, what's coming in is helpers. And I'm just seeing that because we know we're on this path already, even if it's subconsciously. I mean, just listening to this reading, it's kind of coming to your attention, and it probably already has been on your attention, that this path is coming. You are moving away from this because you know you have to. You know that it feels best for you. And so what's coming out in kind of these cards to me are helpers and people that come into our lives to assist us, to uplift us, to teach us something. And maybe whereas this situation, it might be learning through something heavy, this situation is learning through something light and filled with love, and just really vibrant and positive. And of course has the dolphins, 4 dolphins, amazing, best animal ever. So what's orchestrating this is our ancestors, and I see them a lot in both of these cards, but it just seems like they're kind of forming and pulling things our way, because I think we've been aligned with it for a while, or we've been asking for it or desiring that for a while. And so I think that we've kind of orchestrated our lives, or removed things, or kind of fine-tuned and just dialed in to where we're going. And so we've kind of been doing our part, and so our ancestors are like helping that happen. They're kind of, I literally see it as kind of bending like energy lines, like ley lines or something, in order to like bring things towards you and make things happen, like make things happen in the physical world. Yeah, for these things to come to you, for these friends or positive influences to come to you. And what's happening is, here I do feel like we've dealt with it alone in some way, because we haven't been maybe surrounded by the best things. And so, you know, when a plant is in like shitty soil, it doesn't grow really well. It's hard to grow. It's stressful, and you know, you get the drift. But if a plant is in, you know, beautiful fertile soil, and it's rich and it's sunny and there's nice wind and all of that, it's like, yeah, it's much easier. It's not that one thing is bad and one thing is good. It's just kind of the Wheel of Fortune sort of a deal. It's like sometimes we're feeling on the bottom, and sometimes we're gifted amazing things. And yeah, so it becomes easier with friendships, or with positive soil. All right, and so there's some other cards here that I couldn't fit on to the screen. So yeah, it's interesting. These are really interesting cards that are coming up. Super, super interesting. Alright, and I'm feeling inclined to draw a couple of shadow cards. Shadow cards that shout out to Garden Gate Hollow. This beautiful, amazing shadow deck from an amazing reader, Miss Sarah. I love you. Okay, so that's that. I'll put the link to their Etsy shop below, where you can buy your own deck of shadow cards, or many of the other great decks that she has. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it just seems like it's talking about sorry, it's probably looks like a lot, but yeah, it just seems like it's saying, okay, we know where we're going, and now what's the strategy of getting there? Which is, it's important, you know, it's kind of been coming up a lot lately, but it's like, now that we're conscious and we know, we can make a strategy, or, you know, really meditate on ourselves and what's going to be the best thing for us, and how can we put ourselves in the best positions and things like that. So yeah, so these two cards are still sticking out to me, Inner Voice and Harmony, and this is a lot. It's a lot to kind of fit in right now, but it's basically saying that we know where we've been, and we're very, very familiar with that. And with where we're going, we're not so familiar, but we have a compass and we can feel it. We can feel the goodness of it. So it's about discernment, and I drew this card too, which is like, I actually want to open the book too, and I really encourage you to, I'm gonna make sure this is like, I encourage you to take a picture, or I encourage you to read this, so like you can pause it and give it a read, because it's like exact, it's so good. But yeah, basically it's talking about being discerning, and that we have a choice in being discerning. So yeah, we can learn through struggles, and we can put ourselves in situations with people that, you know, we don't vibe with, or are not the most fertile, healthy soil for us. And we can choose that, we can be in that, and we can also see what we need, what we deserve, and who we want to surround ourselves with, what kind of environments we want to be in. And we're, I mean, wow, just so encouraged to do that, because we're free humans, you know, we're free people, and why not? So it's really saying that we have a choice. It's like this guy's got, you know, the two faces, and it's interesting because when I drew this existence card earlier, guilt and stress came with it, and oh, that's success. Okay, so guilt and stress came with this existence card, and so what came up when I drew that a few minutes ago was that guilt and stress are not real, and that only, just hear me out, but only love is real, and anything other than that is like the avoidance or resistance to love. And so what the universe always wants us to feel is love, and anytime we're out of resonance with love, or we're carrying kind of any of these things, any of these pains, and we're not actually like looking at them, right? It's like, don't always be in the shadow, but take and make time to be in the shadow. See things throughout your day that come up that are a trigger, and then, you know, going and sitting with them, looking at it, looking at the shadow. And once we do that, we make a lot of room for other, you know, better things in our life. And I guess too, just being sure to stay grounded in light. Yeah, that's an important one. Okay, and so basically the best way, I guess, that we can get ourselves to the spot that we want to be in is always discerning, is going through the shadow and making space for more, you know, kind of like a greater information, greater good, and discerning everything, discerning like every person that you're, you know, hanging around, and who you want to be with and who you don't, you know, what brings you a light feeling and what doesn't. And kind of the more that we do this, it might seem like maybe others might judge it, or it might seem like we're doing something wrong by shutting down certain things because it's associated with like guilt from the past and from conditioning and shaming and saying like, no, you can't do that because that's mean. You can't say no to that person because that's mean, or what have you. It's like, it's actually through laziness and through letting go, and not trying to fight and cling to things, that's going to bring the success. So yeah, well, okay, I went ahead and drew some angel cards. So basically this is leading us to, you know, how to bring this vibration more into our lives. Like we said earlier, we know where we're going, where we want to go, and now this is a way of getting there, or of just bringing in the vibration, being in that vibration. Yeah, releasing, singing and dancing, having, I don't know, just like joyous interactions with animals, like appreciating nature, listening to yourself and your discernment. Listen to what's a yes to you and what's a no to you. One thing that I started doing recently is asking my body, actually by the suggestion of Iridescent, a psychic reader who's amazing, but she said to see what a sacred yes and a sacred no feels like. So, you know, in my body, it's like, okay, body, can you tell me what a yes for this situation feels like? And can you tell me what a no for this situation feels like? And I'll feel it in different parts of my body. And so it makes it easy to see what's comfortable to me and what feels safe to me and what I do want to do, you know, and what I don't, and just be okay with saying yes or no to that. So, and this is karmic, you know, this is something that we haven't been skilled in before, and we're learning it now, and it's a big thing to overcome. So this is, you know, big news, big karmic change. So I guess go easy on yourself, or don't expect that it's just going to be done and, you know, you're successful at it now. It takes practice, and yeah, I think by surrounding yourself with friends and surrounding yourself with what makes you feel good, you know, blessing yourself, taking good care of yourself, kind of almost making it like a ceremony for you. You know, filling your room with, I don't know, snacks or tea or flowers, giving yourself baths, you know, doing something that just makes you feel nourished energetically, physically, nutritionally, all that. And this to me is saying, sorry for this, no, but this to me is saying, you know, make a box, an imaginary box is fine, or a real one, but make something where all of your wishes go. You know, say to God, I wish for this in my life. I want to experience this. And, you know, making sure it feels good and feels in alignment with your body, and putting that out there. And also kind of doing it the opposite way of saying, okay, I want to grow past this, or I want to see what it is that I keep attracting this, for what reason I keep attracting this in my life. So, right, and then it's really like a practice of heightening our frequency little by little, seeing what's out of alignment, what doesn't feel good, and then bringing, you know, maybe going into the shadow with that, and bringing some goodness to it. So, yeah, basically, moral of the story is we're making big strides forward, and, you know, using discernment, bringing in good good positivity into your life. So I hope that this reading has been good and helpful. Like I said, I'll put this deck in the description below, and if you'd like a reading, you can get one, and I'll put a link below too. So take care and nurture yourself, bring some goodness into your life, and much love. I'll talk to you later. Bye.